Hey, set me up for the stat of the week this week, will you?
Starkey, you know that there's a groundswell of public desire for more stat of the week. So lay it on us, big fella.
By the numbers, 301. That is the number of wins the Phillies have had since 2005. That all comes under the management of one Charlie Manuel. Can you believe it? 301 wins, the most in the NLs in that time.
They lead the National League in wins.
With that in mind, is Charlie the coach of the year or what? I mean, this guy's a genius out there, right?
He is. He is a genius. It's hard to when I watch Charlie just move around with this goofy sort of way that all the parts are moving in different directions. I'm thinking Country Bear Jamboree at Disney World. That's the first thing that comes to mind, and that does not go with a genius, you know. So I don't think genius, but I do think that Charlie Manuel is impressive in some ways. Having observed him a little bit when I go down and cover the Phillies, he's a guy who I think really genuinely likes baseball players and likes hanging around baseball players, and that's one of the things I think the players dig that. I think they perceive that and like it, and there's a very good relationship there, and I think it was reflected in some of the things that he's had to do in terms of discipline in the last couple of weeks with the Phillies. They were accepting of it because of the relationship that he has with them.
And let's get into that in a few moments. We're going to talk about a couple different instances where he's had to sort of step up and be the hard-nosed coach. But 15-4 is their record since May 19th, Mike. 15-4.
Right.
They had just lost 3 straight games on May 19th when he sort of had a players-only meeting. No, but he was there. It was like, you know, after the game gets done, he calls them all in the clubhouse and hollers at them. Mm-hmm. He hollered at Shane Victorino for, I'm not sure if he called out Victorino by name, but he sort of said, stop complaining about playing time. If you're playing well, you'll get your playing time. Well, Victorino right after that went on a 14-game hitting streak. Was very instrumental over the weekend when they swept the Braves this last weekend. I'm getting this information from Jim Salisbury's piece that was in the Inquirer on Friday.
A terrific baseball
June 6th article.
One of the guys who's really on top of what's going on.
I've been down in Philadelphia, as you have, and just watched this guy work, and he just has an insight with the players. But he didn't even have this information until Thursday about this meeting that took place. And Manuel sort of laid these guys to task, and since then they've gone crazy. They were 24-22 when he had this meeting, and they now are 39-26. And that's why they're in first place.
No question.
Now, Jim writes this and said about this article going, this is the first time you guys didn't know about something, but it all came to surface after what happened Thursday afternoon. They had a day game against the Reds where Jimmy Rollins didn't run out a fly ball that wound up being dropped in for a hit.
Right.
So he should have been second. He was only at first. And why don't you set us up on what happened then?
Well, first of all, let's go back to the meeting. As I understand it, the meeting happened on the same day that Jeff Jenkins, it was in Washington, hit a ball, thought sure he had hit a home run, and stood there and admired his work.
Okay.
And it ended up going off the wall, and he was able to sprint like crazy once he realized that it wasn't a home run and got a double out of it. But it was supposedly that kind of prompted Charlie to say, hey, we're not going to put up with this anymore. Now he has an opportunity to back up his words with actions because of the Jimmy Rollins thing, and he yanks the reigning National League MVP,
leader on the team,
out of the game. Yanks him out of the game, and what was instructive there was Rollins' reaction to that, because he basically said, hey, this guy has 2 rules for us. Be on time and hustle. I broke one of the rules, and what he did in response to that was completely appropriate. There's no problem between me and Charlie Manuel, and it's the kind of thing that it's easier to do when you're winning, of course, but it's the kind of thing that where Charlie really had to put up or shut up, and he put up.
But Charlie's made some other moves lately. I was thinking about Jeff Jenkins came in to pinch hit the other day, and it wasn't the logical move when Greg Dobbs leads the league in pinch hits, and yet Jenkins comes in and hits a home run. I mean, that was
a funny situation there because as I think that was in the 5th inning, and I thought when I saw Jenkins come in, I thought, well, he's saving Dobbs for later in a close game because it's only the 5th inning. It's the middle of the game. I thought he's saving Dobbs for later in a close game. 7th inning with a tie game, Burrell's coming up against a right-hander. Burrell doesn't hit right-handers very well, never has. I thought, well, now here's the spot he's been setting up for Greg Dobbs, and we didn't see Greg Dobbs. He let Burrow hit against the right-hander, and he got a 2-run double. So, I mean, it's almost like it's ridiculous how like he's playing a slot machine. You know, he's
or something. Or when you're
winning
hot,
and winning and winning.
When you're hot, you're hot. You know, keep going to the hot. And the Phillies are really hot right now. They just swept the Braves. They've got the Marlins now, and they're in Florida. They need to keep winning right now because what I've always seen in baseball, it's a game of streaks. They're hot right now, and I imagine when they cool off, it'll probably be a 5-game losing streak. It just seems to work that way. So build up your lead right now in the division. They're up by about 3.5 over the Marlins. So this could really put some distance this next coming couple games in there, Mike, as well.
No question. They're rolling, and of course, it's easy to say, well, you got to keep rolling. It's a long, long, long season, and as you're saying, there are going to be down patches, but they're in good shape right now.